Hi, I'm Sheila L. Haidt, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk to you about this week's astrology. And this week seems to have picked up the slack, meaning the last few weeks, maybe one or two important things happened that needed to be mentioned. This week, every day, 2, 3 things are happening. So I'm going to try and just give you the facts and some clear instructions on what you need to do, as opposed to giving you a hardcore astrology lesson. So hang in there and get ready to take notes, because this is not, as I said before, not a quiet or a still week. So we start with today, Monday, and Monday we have the sun. The sun is the life force. The sun is the ego. It's the heart, the creative aspect of ourselves. We have the sun making a trine, which is a harmonious, beneficial aspect to the planet Saturn. Saturn rules the rules. Saturn rules structure. Saturn makes everything, it makes the jello gel, let's put it that way. Saturn gives form to our hopes and our wishes and our feelings. Well, the sun, this life force, is in a positive relationship with the responsibility or the structure planet, Sun trine Saturn, meaning that now is the time. If you've got a dream, if you've got a plan, if you've got an idea, now is the time to let's put some muscle into it and put foundations under those dreams, because you can begin the process of making them come true. The planet Mercury, the planet of how we gather and process information, the planet of communication, is sextile, that is creating a harmonious, beneficial, but opportunity aspect, meaning that it's not guaranteed unless you start it. So the mind working together with the planet Pluto, Mercury sextile Pluto. Pluto is the deeper levels of all of us. Pluto is a power and control planet, and Pluto is a transformation planet. So the mind and intuitive Pluto, you're highly intuitive today. And do keep in mind that when I say today, these aspects have a shelf life of 2 to 3 days most of the time, if not longer. So this week is going to be, there's a lot of Pluto and Uranian and Mercurial energy. So it's really about what you know and how you come to know it and what you choose to do with this knowledge. And a lot of it is gained through intuition. So pay attention to your feelings, pay attention to when you feel comfortable with something, and pay attention to when you don't feel comfortable with something. Those are very important feelings, and you need to honor them. So on Tuesday, speaking of Mercury and Pluto and all kinds of things and intuition that you need to honor, Tuesday, the planet Mercury, as I said before, how we gather and how we gather and process information, also communication, enters the sign of Scorpio. So Scorpio can read minds. Scorpio can see the shadow beneath the stone, as someone once said. Scorpio is intense, and intensity can come in a lot of ways. It can be screaming and throwing things across the room intense, or it can be deep set, deeply felt emotions and aspects of your life intense. When the mind is in the sign of deep, passionate, intuitive Scorpio, there are no secrets. And if there are secrets, just wait. The answers will reveal themselves. Everyone becomes a natural detective now. Everyone. And it's not that you even have to try. You're just in the right place at the right time, hearing the right information. What you do with that is up to you. When Mercury is in any aspect to Scorpio, we have to be careful. We have to be careful that we don't allow our emotions to lead. We don't allow our emotions to tell us what's important, what to do, and how to go about it. We have to be careful that our intuition is serving us and the situation we're in, not that we're leading the intuition and everything else and running roughshod over the situation we're in. On Wednesday we have Mercury, and by the way, Mercury and Wednesday are associated because Wednesday is Mercury's day. Great day for communication. Mercury, how we gather and process information. Mercury, how we communicate with each other. Mercury, the nervous system. Mercury is an opposition. This is Mercury. It's opposition, the planet Uranus. Mercury and Uranus work well together, even if they're in opposition, because Mercury is like the baby brother of Uranus. Uranus is the higher level of intellect, of intuition, of knowing, of consciousness. And Mercury opposition Uranus is telling you that what you need to do is you need to be calm. Uranus is not by its nature calm. You need to be calm. And you need to not believe everything you hear. And you need to verify not only everything you hear, but what you're feeling. Not that you're feeling and you're right, but verify what you're feeling so that you don't get off on the wrong foot. Uranus is also the planet of divine insight. So Mercury, intellect, information gathering, and Uranus, divine insight. This again is like having Mercury in Scorpio. You are privy to some pretty intense, powerful information. Pay attention. Take time, take a few deep breaths, and listen to what you hear. Mercury is also trine Neptune. Neptune is the planet of spirituality, of grace. Neptune is also the planet of illusion, creative thought, and deceptiveness, sometimes self-deception. So you've got the mind in a trine, a harmonious aspect with Neptune, which is also very intuitive. So you've got intuition, you've got divine insight, you've got deep knowing. That's all happening this week. And we're on Wednesday. So now when you move into Thursday, something happens. It happens every 28 days, once a month. We're going to have a new moon, the new moon in Scorpio. A new moon, new beginnings, new possibilities. Scorpio, deep levels of healing, deep levels of knowing, deep levels of trusting ourselves, our inner core, and heal and know thyself. That's definitely the quote for the new moon, heal and know thyself. Of course, you need to make moon water. Moon water is very important because you gather the rays of the moon into this water and you can use it in whatever way you want. You can drink it, you can water your plants with it, you can give your pets this wonderful moon water. What you want to do is you really want to gather this moon water by putting water in a vessel, cover the vessel, don't want critters in it, and put it where the moon's rays can get to it. And even if you don't have a window there, the moon's rays can go through the wall. They can enter into your space. So put your vessel of water where it can gather the rays of the moon. And this is new moon, Scorpio new moon water. It's going to be phenomenal. So the new moon is really intense. So much happens this week, as I said before, but so much happens on and around the new moon. Let's see. It's a Scorpio new moon. So the moon is intuitive and deep and emotional. Scorpio is intuitive and deep and emotional. So you have a Scorpio new moon, which will be intuitive, deep, and emotional. So always know that there's way more information than you're conscious of, which is why the moon and Scorpio both deal not only with the conscious self, but the subconscious self and above the superconscious self. So there will be dramatic understandings or revelations and many, many events, many things are going to occur that change the course of how you're thinking, how you're planning, and possibly how you're living. Pay attention. I consider this whole week a combination seatbelt, ankle weight week. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be an interesting ride. And wear ankle weights. Keep yourself grounded. It's super important. When you feel that you have a right because of what's going on to shout, to lose it, to get emotional, that's probably when you shouldn't. Probably not a good idea. And I'm just going to go and say it's not a good idea because you're not in charge of yourself then. You're letting the energy be in charge of you. So this new moon is very potent, and it's literally because it's in Scorpio. But it's also because this new moon makes a connection, a relationship, an aspect to all of the outer planets. The outer planets in astrology are the ones that set the course, that create the criteria, and we have to follow it. So there are 5 outer planets, and one way or the other, the new moon is touching each of them. One of them is the planet Uranus, the planet of unexpected, uncontrollable, wow, that just happened. Uranus is also divine insight. So it is in an opposition aspect to this week's new moon. That means that you really need to have your ankle weights on. You really need to be careful because anything can happen. The moon in motion. Uranus sudden upheavals. You don't need that. Nobody needs that. There's also something that we call a grand trine. Grand meaning all of the water signs or all of the signs of an element are present and forming a pattern. In this case, it's water. So you've got the new moon in Scorpio. You've got Jupiter in Cancer and Saturn in Pisces. New moon, Jupiter, and Saturn. The new moon, what are your dreams? Jupiter, there's luck and blessings. And Saturn, what's your plan? Where's your list? What kind of structure and foundation have you built? Things can happen. Grand trines are, for the most part, a really wonderful gift. And if we take care of that really wonderful gift, well, it will repay us in kind. And when Saturn's involved, it will repay us in material goods. So we're still on Thursday, by the way, the new moon day. That day, not only is it the new moon where the sun and the moon are together, we call that conjunct, but the sun, the new moon, and Mercury are together. And even though Mercury is retrograde, boy, this is quite a time. Even though Mercury is retrograde, our thoughts, our plans, Mercury, our emotions, the moon, and our personality and our creativity and our power on the earth, the sun, are all working together. What do you want to create? Now is a good time to start. Also, be wary about ego, because remember, we've got a lot of Scorpio involved, we've got the sun involved, we've got Mercury involved, Uranus is opposition, all of this. Ego, please breathe deeply. Give yourself time to get settled before you say anything, do anything, because you really don't want to clean up that mess. So Mercury is also retrograde. And this particular new moon in Scorpio is saying we have to go back and take a look at the facts, at what we've come to know as valid, and we have to be willing to look at it again and reprocess it. Most of it will be exactly as we knew it was, but some of it, and a significant part of it, is going to be different. You need to be awake. You need to be aware. So then we move to Friday. Finally. Wow, what a Thursday. We move to Friday, where we have the sun. The sun will be in Scorpio, and it's opposite the planet Uranus. Boy, oh boy. The sun opposite Uranus. So that can be contrary. You can be your own worst enemy or your own best friend. And how are you your own worst enemy? You go against what is best for you. How are you your own friend? You realize that you could possibly go against what is best for you, but you don't give in to that. You swim with the tide. You do not oppose it. Sunday, we have the Sun sextile Pluto. So that means that the ego and the life force, the creative aspect, has an opportunity to work with a lot of power, a lot of depth, and a lot of brilliance. I suggest you take that opportunity. So that's pretty much it for the week. Oh my goodness, what an intense week. Prepare for the new moon. Make lists of what you want to bring into your life. We're almost at the end of the year. What do you want not only the rest of this year to bring, but what would you like the first 6 months of the year to bring? This new moon is so fertile and it's so connected with structure. This is the time, and you can begin anything with starting your lists. Then afterwards, of course, you have to do the things on the lists. But writing a list is the first step in manifesting anything. So sit down, think about it, insight, deep insight, a lot of Uranian influences here. What is important to you? What has value to you? What do you want to manifest in your material world? So on that note, remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Bye.